So first of all, thank you very much for that. And I bow down and welcome all the divine Atma Jyotis to today's talk on the to do or not to do. So let me share my screen before I begin. We'll begin with a prayer. So let's sit straight. Let's begin with chanting Omkara 3 times first. Let's offer our respects to the self in all. Antarjyotihi, Bahirjyotihi, Pratyajyotihi, Paratpara, Jyotirjyotihi, Swayam Jyotihi, Atmajyotihi, Shivosmyaham. I am the supreme light of awareness, illuminating the outer world of objects, inner world of thoughts, and deep sleep state. I am the divine light of nature of auspiciousness, Shivaswarupi. Let us offer our respects to Guru. Om Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo, Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat, Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So Guru is the Brahma, the creator, Vishnu, the sustainer, and Shiva, the transformer. And Guru is beyond the creation. To such a Guru, let us offer our salutations. Let us offer our respects to Guru Parampara. Narayana Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. We are all blessed because of the wonderful, unbroken lineage of the Gurus who have brought the greatest message of this existence to enlighten all our lives. To such a wonderful Guru lineage, let us offer our respects. And I personally want to offer my gratitude to the greatest Gurus who have been in my life. Everyone is a Guru, they teach you something, but among them, the ones who enable you to realize your true nature and to realize the truth of the universe are the greatest. Shri Acharya Vinay Vinayakar, founder of Sevak, and Shri Narasimha Prabhuji, founder of Light of the Self, Shri Prabhuji, as we all know, are those guiding lights. So I offer my respects and pranam. So whatever the little that I'm able to share today is due to the selfless service that these two have been offering to the humanity. Acharya Vinay Vinayakar has been serving now for more than 4 decades. Prabhuji, all of you know here in this study circle, has been selflessly serving now for more than 3 decades. It is the selfless service of these great beings that bring the joy and the wisdom in all our lives. All right. So let's get into our childhood little bit. So all of you can go back to your own childhood days. Maybe when you were 5, 6, 7, and imagine how it was. How it was when you were little children. All of you, I'm sure, would have loved to play games. Whatever may be the game. Maybe it is climbing the tree. Maybe it is just the thief and the police. Or maybe it was just simply running with your friends on the street. So many games. And I'm also sure there were days when you would be in the hot sun outside and wouldn't even come back home. And your mother would be looking for you everywhere. So was the fun and enjoyment that you had while playing. So if you recall, it would be so energetic. The, the pleasure, the excitement, the enjoyment. This is how all our childhood was. So now, as an adult, we still are playing games. But what kind of a game? So an adulthood game. So now, if you are a mother or a wife, so you have so many chores to look after in the house. And it starts early in the morning. You have to wake up, you have to get your bed ready, you have to get your tea ready or coffee ready, then wake up the children, uh, dress them up, get the dress ready for the husband, clean the house, the maid would be coming. Today, suddenly the water is not there, electricity is not there, and suddenly somebody is asking for something, they cannot find it, you have to search for it. Today, maid is not coming. 100 things you have to struggle with. And how does it feel like? My God, right from the morning you wake up, you don't even know when you hit the bed how the day has passed. Constantly, there is something or the other to attend to. And as a man, or as a husband, or as a one who goes outside, not that the woman wouldn't go, and these days especially, you have to balance both the house and the outside the house, your professional life. So much of pressure. There is project pressure. There is something or the other to deliver at the office. Your boss is constantly asking you. There is deadline. There is money pressure. If you have taken a EMI pressure. So just imagine the adult life. It suddenly has become a whole lot of, my God, so many things to take care of. It feels like such a drudgery, such hard work, so difficult it is. This doing has become such a difficult task. What was once a very smiling and lovely face now has become a very long face. From a smile, it has become a frown. So, is there a problem in the game we are playing? Is it the problem with the game? As a child, you would play a game, but it was energy, excitement, enjoyment. As an adult, also, you're playing a game, an adult game, but it suddenly has become a drudgery, such a difficult thing. Is it the problem with the game? So, of course, you will hear a lot of advices in the society. Some would say to you, oh, it's the problem is your desire. Just drop your desire. Or somebody would advise you, no, 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 no. Find out what is that you love to do. Or love whatever you're doing. It is like you may have seen there's a marriage happening. There's a newly to be wed, on the dais. They both are standing there smiling, for the photos and the videos. All of us are in the line. And then we go and we shake our hand and we tell them, have a happy married life. Every one of us really wish that, don't we? We want them to have a happy married life. We tell them, have a happy married life. Or like in your birthday, somebody comes and gives you birthday gift and says, have a happy birthday. You have a happy birthday. Everybody wishes. But then, after the marriage, after the honeymoon ends, what happens? Just maybe 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months. After that, you know how it is. Nobody teaches you how to have a happy married life. So someone will come and tell, find your ikigai. What is this ikigai? Where your passion, where your ability, where the society requirement, and where the society can value, find that intersection, then you will be happy. So like that, there is a lot of advice going on around us. So how do I go about it? What do I do? How do I come out of this? Is there escape? And this is not just our today's problem. So we all can take respite in the fact that this is exactly the same kind of problem that the greatest archer of all time, Arjuna, had. This is shloka from Bhagavad Gita 2.7. So Arjuna is saying, Arjuna uvacha karpanya doshopahata svabhavaha pruchhami tvam dharma sammudha chetaha yachreyasya nishchitam bruhi tanme shishyasteham shadhimam tvam prapannam. Arjuna, who is now about to get into war and who is right now standing in between the two armies of the Kauravas and the Pandavas, is getting mighty confused. So he doesn't know whether he should fight this war or not. So he's asking Krishna, Krishna, so far I thought I'm a great archer. I was so well known and have fought in so many battles. But for some reason, today, I have come down with this anxiety. I feel so terrified, very anxious. I don't know what's the next step to take. I am totally confused. Should I fight or not fight? Should I do or not do? I don't really know, Arjuna, Krishna. But I have seen you always being so calm and peaceful, come what may. So I want your help, Krishna. So I'm surrendering to you. Please tell me what is that I should do? What is that is the best for me? Yat shreyaha syanishchitam. Shreya, that which brings auspiciousness. Please teach me that which gives me auspiciousness. Give me that wisdom that makes you so calm and serene in all circumstances. So this was the problem of that Arjuna. And what is our problem? Today's Arjuna? Same. Circumstances are different. We may not be facing the battlefield, but our battlefields are different. Our home is, somebody has written in their DP. I have a friend and she has written in their DP. And it says, battle is where the home is. Mountain is where the home is. She's a trekking person. She loves to trek. but she feels home is where the mountain is. So, such a big problem right in front of us, day in and day out. So, how to come out of this? How do I move forward? Look at this cartoon. This fellow is trying to escape from that stone. So, if he runs, then only he can escape from the stone. But look at what it is that is waiting for him. So if he runs also, he gets caught. If he doesn't run also, he is caught. What to do? So this is the same confusion that Arjuna had. To do or not to do. To fight or not to fight. What is that I can do or not do? What is the right wisdom? So how do I come out of this conundrum? But as you know, there is Sri Krishna. So the people around him had the same problem. And it is said that he lifted the Govardhanagiri and helped them be free from the tyranny of Indra, who was pouring down with heavy rain. I don't know whether he literally lifted the mountain, but I do know and I do realize that he definitely, with his wisdom, can lift the mountain in our minds. So it's actually very easy when it's like, a child comes to you and says, teach me how to solve a given, let's say, a math problem. When is it that you can solve? When you know. And how do you know? When you learned. So by learning, it becomes actually very easy. So now, today, let us look at what is the wisdom that Krishna is giving about to do or not to do. But first of all, let me tell you a grandpa's story. So there was a grandpa, and he had a great love and affection on his granddaughter. And he gifted his most prized watch. I do not know whether today's generation can relate to this mechanical watch, but at least our generation, we all have seen. And especially if you recall, when you were growing up, good watch is what you would be gifted when you get good marks, when you enter college. So all of us would work hard for the pride of wearing a good watch. Rado watch was very famous. So like HMT was very famous. So this grandpa had gifted a watch, a mechanical watch. And the granddaughter, out of her love and affection, it was a very prized thing for her. One day, unfortunately, it so happened that it fell. And it fell and it stopped working. Now, she was so sad, grief struck, because she had such a deep attachment to her grandfather, who was no more. What to do? So tears started rolling down her cheeks. And today, if you go around the city market, you will not find somebody who can repair such a watch. So she kept on inquiring. Fortunately, somebody instructed her to go to some place, and there was a small shop. There was an elderly looking man sitting, and she took this watch to him. And she said, oh, this is my very prized watch. I don't know, but it has stopped working. Can you please help? He took that watch, he opened it, he examined it. He said, yeah, I can definitely help it. Suddenly, her crying face completely changed. She was now beaming with joy. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much. I don't know how I can tell you what it means to me. So this is the story. But I want to ask you one question from this story. So the watch, when it initially fell, she became so sad. But the moment the mechanic looked at it, she became very happy. So what caused the happiness? Of course, the fact that the mechanic could fix it. But let's take the question, what enabled the mechanic to fix it? The mechanic knew how this machine works because he had studied it. He had looked into it. He knew what all those gears and levers and all those little things, what they mean and how they work, what should hit where, how it should work. So because of that knowledge and because of having worked with it, that skill, he was very confident about fixing it. And that confidence brought the sense of joy to the granddaughter. Likewise, in our life, when we understand the given problem, the cause of it, the mechanics of it, like how a mechanic would study a watch dispassionately, he would look at it, he will analyze it, and that is how he develops his knowledge and skill. Likewise, when we examine the source of our own confusion, our own misery, our own drudgery, what the mechanics of it is where the escape for us is. So, therefore, first let us understand where we are playing this game. So we saw the game that we all are playing as adults. Where exactly are we really playing this game? Where is this field where we are playing? Because any game has to be played in a field, isn't it? And there has to be rules of the game, isn't it? So what is the field where our game is being played? Where is that you are playing your game of life? You're playing your game of life in the field called your mind. See, for anything to happen, for example, if I ask you, what is your name? Before that sound comes out of your mouth, in your mind, you have to recall your name. If I ask you, what is the name of the longest or the tallest mountain in the world, you have to first of all recall that in your mind. So you have all these things stored in a part of your mind which is called as your memory, chitta. Then whenever I ask you the question, what is the tallest mountain? And how do you know that I'm asking the question? Because the sound from whatever I am asking you comes into you through your ears. So that whole mechanism from where this entire thing comes into your mind is called as the mana, where all the five sense organs report various sensations. What you see, what you hear, what you smell, what you taste, what you touch, all of that gets reported to your mind through your mana. Then there is a buddhi. The buddhi is the discriminatory power of your mind. So when I ask you the tallest mountain, you may know 10 mountain names or maybe 100. So out of that, which name to pick as the tallest mountain in the world? So your buddhi, you have to apply your buddhi on your memory and you have to pick the right answer. That is the buddhi, the discriminatory ability, power you have in your mind. And the most important part of your mind, the aham, ahankara, aham akara, the me, the I and the me and the mind. So in your mind, there is a special memory which you have, which you call as me. If I ask you, what is your name? You pick some name. The name is also in your memory, but there is also another kind of a memory that you have, which is what you keep getting connected to as me. If I ask you, for example, you may be joining this session from your mobile or maybe a laptop. If I ask you, whose mobile? You would say, my mobile. And at the same time, if you can notice what I'm showing in the video, in my video, and I ask you, whose mobile am I holding in my hand? You would say, your mobile, Vijay's mobile. So, like that, you have a special sense within your mind, which is called as mine, me, mine, I. You know who I am, you know how tall I am, you know how much I've studied, you know from where I am, you know what all the things I've done, you know what all I could have done, you know what all I have not done. So, like that, all those various stories of your life, which you stored in your memory, some parts of the memory, you have a special connection with another memory called as my memories, my things, my life, my stories about me. So these are the four important things in the field called your mind. That is mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankara. Through these four, this is the field where you actually play the game before you play it out in the world. What is the game you are playing? The game you are playing essentially is summarized in this picture. This game is very simple. I want something, desire. I want a mango. And for that, what you need to do? You have to act. You'll go to the store, you'll use money, you'll purchase it, and you got that. Now you got some two, three fruits. You cut one of them and you eat. Ah, so nice, so tasty, wonderful. You want one more. So you open one more. As you put that fruit, oh my God, rotten, not good. So like that, when you desire something and when you act for it, the fruit may be something that you wanted, or the fruit may be something that you don't want. When the fruit is what you want, you would say, nice, very good. That is success. Let's say you studied for exam and you get very good marks. It's a success. And you studied for the exam. You want to get good marks, but you don't get as many marks as you wanted. Then you say, no, it was not good. Failure. So, like that, the game of life essentially is this triangle. There is desire, you have a desire, and then you act, and then based on the action, you get a fruit. Not all the time the fruit is in your control, but you get a fruit. The fruit may be success or failure. When it is success, you say, very nice. When it is failure, you feel so sad. This is the game of the life. Also, the cycle of the karma. Karma essentially means action. So, the desires that you have are not just one. The power of the desire is such that, as an example, here you can see one single seed of a mango can actually yield a big tree with so many fruits, and with those many fruits, a big orchard, a mango orchard itself can be created, a huge orchard. That is the power of the desire. So you eat one mango, and then you like it, you want one more mango. You eat some other fruit, you don't like it, you don't want it. So this like and the don't like, want and the don't want, it keeps on generating desires after desires, and you keep on acting. This is the fundamental mechanism of the action that all of us are involved with. So there is a wonderful story of a sannyasi. So there was this fellow who wanted to realize his true nature. He wanted to meet God. So he went to a great guru, and the guru said, with very, 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 very least amount of possessions, you go and meditate in that remote place near that village. So this fellow went there, made a small hut, had only 2 lion clothes, nothing else, and he was meditating there. And of course, in that hut, there was some rat problem. One of the rat was eating his lion cloth. So there was a villager who used to come and attend to him every day. So out of pity, he said, see, if like this, it won't help you. I have one idea. I have one widow in my village. She also needs help. Why don't I bring her here? And I also give you some clothes. She can clean that. So that way you can keep meditating. She'll just be there looking after your clothes and this hut. He agreed. So she came. One thing led to another. She said, why don't you please marry me? I feel so lonely. Out of his pity, he also married her. One thing led to another. So they had children. So now she started asking him, how will you look after my children? So what to do? He started doing farming. So like this, one desire led to another. After many, many years, now there is no more that hut. There is a big palace-like house. And there are so many children and so many people. And nobody knows where this sannyasi is anymore. This is the story of how one single desire can create so many actions, and one action leads to another. So this is fundamentally the whole mechanics of the game all of us are playing. So where are we playing this game? In our mind, fundamentally. And then of course it gets played out in the world. So this triangle of this desire, action, and the fruit, what I want. So this cycle keeps on repeating endlessly. Where is the root of this? Nobody knows. But we are so caught up in that fruit. So great masters give this picture as a reminder of how futile our running after these fruits of the action are. Here is a wonderful illustration, as you can see. So this fellow is being chased by this wild elephant. And to protect from it, he climbs this tree and he is holding on to this branch. And this wild elephant is tugging to push him. And the branch is holding on to is being nibbled at by these rats. It's about to crack. And when he falls, there is a pit below where there are these deadly snakes waiting for him. And at the same time, there is a Pushpaka Vimana which is asking him to come and to escape. But he is so enamored by little drops of honey that is dripping from the branch above onto his tongues. So the honeybees are biting him. he can see that the elephant is tugging at the big tree and he's going to fall, or the rats would nibble away, or the snakes would bite him, but still he's so much enamored by this little drops of honey. So this is the power of the fruit that we all run behind. We are so caught up. So what is the way out then? What is the path of the freedom? So let's first offer our little prayer to Krishna. This is a Gita Dhyana. Prapanna parijataya totra vetraika parnaye jnana mudraya krishnaya Gita duhe namaha. So Krishna is the one who is holding a chati. Okay. So a cane to herd the cattle, and also the Jnana Mudra. And he is the milker of this elixir called as Bhagavad Gita. So the chati, this cane, represents the punishments that we get when we do not realize the truth of the existence and when our life becomes such a misery. So that is when we say, Ayo karma. When we are not living in accordance to truth, life becomes misery. Ayo karma. But the way out is also given by Krishna only, through his Jnana Mudra. Meaning what? The wisdom that he's offering. So what is the path of freedom that Krishna is offering to our conundrum, to do or not to do, to escape from this cycle? Let's go into that. So first wisdom that Krishna offers us is Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phalahetur bhuhu ma te sangostva karmani. Krishna tells us, or in that Bhagavad Gita is telling Arjuna. So that Arjuna is nothing but all of us. Our ignorance is Arjunatva. So is addressing our ignorance. He's telling Arjuna, when you look at this triangle, in this triangle, your misery primarily is not because you had a desire. You wanted to eat mango. Okay. You acted, you got a mango. You went to the store and you bought a mango. Okay. When it was good, you became happy. Okay. When it was not so good, you became sad. So the fruit is where your fundamental first catch is. In your mind, you are always wanting only success. When failure comes, you have an issue with it. So Krishna is telling, therefore Arjuna, don't be attached to the fruit of your action. Or, in other way, Krishna is telling us, accept both success and failure. Arjuna, when you learn to accept both success and failure, or don't be attached to either success or failure, both of them remove the sense of anxiety. I'm studying for the exam. I want very good marks. I am helping my child. I want my child to be successful. So that passing the exam or success for my child, they're all in the future. But right now, I'm acting. So my desire is not the problem. Krishna is giving us that clarity. My action is also not the cause of the anxiety. Then what is that I'm anxious about? Will I get 100 marks? Or will my child be successful? So this constant focus on the fruit of the action is the fundamental cause of the anxiety. It is like somebody asked a wise man, we are playing a game of cricket and our opponents have scored 300 runs and we have only 40 overs because of rain. How do we win the game? The wise man says, what is that you need to score? 300. Good. So now, if you're constantly thinking of the 300, will you win the game? Some of them say, yeah, isn't that what we need to be thinking about? Isn't that what we need to be focusing on? The wise man says, then how are you going to face the current ball that you need to bat? What is that you need to do now? There is going to be a ball that is going to be coming at you. Are you hitting it for 4? Or are you hitting it for 6? Or are you able to get 1 or 2 runs? How do you bat the current ball? Isn't that more important? Only when you bat each of the ball that comes at you, then only you have a chance of scoring 300, isn't it? So what you should be focused on then? The 300 or the current ball that is coming at you? Should you be focused on what you're doing now or whether your action is going to yield a fruit? So there is where Krishna is giving us the freedom from enjoyership. It is the enjoyment, it is the enjoyership that binds us. Will I be enjoying this? Is it a success? So Krishna is removing that sense of anxiety, first of all. Remove the sense of anxiety. Do your duty. Do your best to bat the current ball. What happens after that? Leave it. Focus on the current ball. So that gives us the freedom from enjoyership. Then comes in that triangle, lot of anxiety is related to action. Yo, Rama, so many things to do. I only have to do all these things. I have to clean the house, I have to cook in the house, I have to clean the toilet, I have to feed, I have to iron, I have to go out, I have to earn, I have to give money, I have to look after my parents. My God, so many things. I only have to do everything. So Krishna gives the wisdom. Who is really doing? Prakritehe kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvashaha ahankara vimudhatma kartahamiti manyate. Arjuna, who is really doing? So it is the 3 gunas in the nature, the tamo, rajo and sattva guna. It is these material energies and the combination of that which is what is making all these things happen. You, because of your false identification with this material energy, which is constantly changing, because of that false association, because of that false identification with this material energy, which is nothing but a combination of these 3 gunas, that you have gotten into a false illusion that you are the doer. So you are not really the doer. It is the Prakriti. It is the Prakriti that is really the one with the combination of the gunas is how things are happening. So Prabhuji asks us a very famous question. Who did your coffee today? When you look at that question, it's a simple question. Of course, I did it. Oh yeah, really? So did you make the milk? Did you make the sugar? Did you make that steel bowl? Did you make that stove? Did you make that fire? Oh no, I was the one who brought all of it, and I put it on the stove. Oh, very good. So you put it on the stove. So you did it. Yeah, yeah. See, I took that matchstick and I am the one who put the fire. Very good. So do you know how exactly your fingers are moving? Do you know how much blood has to flow for your fingers to hold that matchstick? For your fingers to strike? What electricity has to flow in your brain and from there to your hand? Do you know all of it? Are you doing all of it? So when you examine that question, who is really doing? I have gotten into a wrong understanding of life. I think I am the doer. All these things I only am doing. But look at it. A very simple act of holding a matchstick. I am not really sure how exactly it is happening. This body has trillions of living cells. Am I running all of it? Do I know exactly how each cell functions? Do you know what is the message that has to go from one cell to another cell for my fingers alone to work? But I claim the ownership. I did it. I am doing it. You know how great I am. You know how intelligent I am. You know how much I have done. But you know, they do not remember me at all. All these stories we get into in life. So Sri Krishna is helping us to be free from this sense of doership. I am the doer. I am the doer is the one which binds me when I'm performing an action. So now, as you can see, in this game of life, slowly Sri Krishna is bringing a sense of freedom. As you can see here in the picture where I had to do and I am going to reap the benefit or the success or the failure of my fruits of action. Slowly, slowly, Krishna started removing the freedom from the enjoyership by removing my attachment to fruit of the action. Freedom from the doership by removing my attachment to I am the doer. So as you can see, the picture has started becoming lighter now. Already, out of the three main things, two things have dropped. Freedom from enjoyership, freedom from doership. But there is this central fellow, me, I. This fellow is the sticky fellow. This fellow is where the fundamental issue is. Because, okay, these two I understood. But this fellow, as you can see in this picture, this fellow is in the center. In fact, he is in the center of all the issues. So, how do I transform this fellow? How do I then come out of this ignorance of this fellow? How do I help this fellow? So, the only answer there is to realize who this fellow is is this truly there or not? And who is this fellow? And who am I? But to know that, first of all, this fellow has to become a little quiet. Otherwise, this fellow constantly keeps asking us questions. In our mind, constantly keeps bringing various situations and analyzes. I like it, I don't like it, I want it, I don't want it. All of this is happening because of this center fellow, me, I, this ego, this fellow, ego fellow. So Krishna starts giving us series of little steps. Yagnarthat karmanonyatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha tadartham karma kaunteya mukta sangha samachara. He tells, hey Arjuna, do your work as an offering to the Lord, to the Supreme, to the divine energy. See, you did not create any of this. You have, but you have been simply claiming ownership. So you will realize only when you know the answer to who you are. But right now, your mind is too chatty, too busy. So you perform all your actions as a yajna. Yajna means what? We all know what is a yajna. There is a kunda where there is a fire and we offer something into that fire. A fruit, a steak, grains, cloth. For what? For the benefit. Maybe depending upon whatever the yajna that we are performing. This is the general understanding we have about yajna. But what is truly yajna? Sri Krishna gives the clarity of yajna, the true yajna in Bhagavad Gita. True yajna is selfless offering. What does it mean? Whatever the actions you are performing, Arjuna, do it as an offering to the Lord, to the divine. And where is the divine? In each and everything around you. So when you are talking to your son, you see the divine and you offer your actions in service to the Lord in your son. See the Lord in your wife. So each and everything that you're doing, offer it as a service, yajna, to the Lord. As you keep doing this, Arjuna, the mental chatter will start going down. And transform, Arjuna, your desires from selfish to selfless. Annad bhavanti bhutani parjanyadanna sambhavaha yajñād bhavati parjanyo yajñah karma samudbhavaha. Look at the existence. The sun is shining, and the sun shines on each and every one of us, irrespective of whether we say namaskarams to sun, or whether we offer our gratitude to sun, or we totally are oblivious to his presence. Many a times, so involved are we in our mental game that we don't even notice. He is simply shining. He's never expected anything from any one of us. The water, we go and enjoy the water in a stream. Oh, Kaveri River in Srirangapatna, so nice. Same Kaveri, she flows in our toilet and she cleans our buttocks. And she has no qualms where she is flowing. It doesn't matter whether you have given your gratitude to her or not. She simply is there for your service. Like that, in existence, All the great beings are there for the benefit of the others. Look at our Prabhuji's life. So Prabhuji gives us these Pancha Mahayagnas as what we can follow in our day-to-day life. Deva Yagna, Bhuta Yagna, Manushya Yagna, Pitru Yagna, and the greatest of all, Rishi Yagna. Deva Yagna is offering our gratitude to all these celestial forces. If we are able to sit here and talk and be comfortable, the earth is spinning around its axis constantly. So many things are happening in the existence. Sun is shining, wind is blowing, water is flowing, our cells are working, our heart is beating, our lungs are functioning. Each and everything is ticking to an order. Only because of all these celestial forces can you and I function here. So offering our gratitude and our service is Deva Yagna. Bhuta Yagna, taking care of so many other beings, cows, animals, plants. Manushya Yagna, offering our service, food, money, where there is a need. Pitru Yagna, taking care of our elders. And the greatest of all the yagnas, which Prabhuji has been doing selflessly. In YouTube, you can find more than about 3 years worth of his talk. The other day, we were just sitting and calculating. There are more than some 8,000 or 9,000 videos of his in YouTube. And if you just do a rough estimate, all of that together amounts to more than about 3 years worth of talk. That is, if you sit and listen to it continuously. Now imagine the kind of effort he has put in that, the kind of energy that he has put in that, the kind of offering he has given to us. He has spoken on varieties of topics, Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads, so many things, tirelessly. So that is the gratitude that he is offering to the greatest realization he has had. What am I doing? Today, I took all this air, I took all this food, all this water, and all the love and care from so many people. What am I offering back to each one of them? How am I living my life today? What is the little thing I can remember before I go to bed with which I can feel that I have also done something for someone else? Sri Krishna is saying, when I start offering is when I will realize the greatest energy that operates through me. So, Sri Krishna is transforming the me to the we. So, by asking me to get involved in yajna, by performing these Panchamaha yajnas, the chatter in the mind, which was so much me-centric, I, what did I get? What did I lose? Me. From the me, he's transforming me into a we. But still, that little me is left. So this me to we transformation is nice, is enjoyable, so nice. Feeling of togetherness. But still, the little me is there. So now is where Sri Krishna offers us the final solution. the freedom from the individuality. Anashrita karma phalam karyam karma karoti yaha sa sannyasi cha yogi cha niragnirna chakriyaha. So he's telling, who is a true sannyasi? Arjuna, a true sannyasi is the one who does his work without expecting results of his action. So, be a true sannyasi, Arjuna. Do not abandon any of your activities. Do that as a selfless service. Convert every action that you do into a tool for your self-realization. So our DVG has a nice kagga. So what he gives us is a nice analogy there. He says, make two rooms in your mind. In one room, you play the game of outer life. In that outer room, you play the game of life. But make an inner room. In the inner room, be completely detached. Be a true sannyasi. Samyak nyasaha iti sannyasaha. The true sannyasi is one whose mind is deposited in the truth. Our senses drag us to deposit our mind in the world, outside world. But Sri Krishna is asking us to be a true sannyasi. He wants us to go inwards. Because only by going inwards, that little me, the freedom from the individual, I am an individual, can be truly lost. And that is where Sadguru comes into the picture. So the true final journey, that leap, can happen only in the presence of a Sadguru. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshyanti te jnanam jnaninastattvadarshinaha. Sri Krishna says, only if you've done the good work. So far, he has given us simply how to earn the merit to even have the darshana of a Sadguru. Whatever the steps he has given us in freedom from the enjoyership, freedom from the doership, converting the selfish into a selfless desire, performing yajna, all of that was only to earn the right merit to come into contact with a true realized master. And Sri Krishna says, learn the truth, realize the truth by approaching the realized master, Sadguru. Satguru, one who is established in that truth and the one who can teach you. With him, you first of all offer your respects and gratitude and you learn. Learning does not mean you cannot ask questions, but ask questions to remove your true doubts, not to test the master, but to realize your true nature. Because that master is the compassionate incarnate. Like a mother, he will protect you and he will guide you. Because he is the embodiment of the truth. So thus, Krishna takes us to the non-doer, the true self in me, the true I am. Yunjannevam sadatmanam yogi niyatamanasah shantim nirvana paramam matsanstham adhigacchati. Only by being absorbed in me, Krishna, says, "O Arjuna, you then will realize your true nature, Parama Shanti, supreme peace." When is that possible? When that little me, when I am, the little me is absent, then what is present is that divine only, is that God only. And that is who you truly are. And like how when electricity flows through a fridge, the fridge cools. When it flows through the fan whirs. In one sense, electricity is doing anything? It is not really doing anything. Or like how the drama is happening on a drama stage, you see actors coming and going, but you can truly see the drama only when there is light. Is the light doing something there? So you can transcend from a doership to your true nature, a non-doer, and realize that all that is divine only. Brahmarpanam brahmahave brahmagnau brahmanahutam brahmaiva tena gantavyam brahma karma samadhina. There is no other than the divine. What you are offering to the yajna and the instrument through which you are offering and to who you are offering, all that is divine only. The essence is that divine only. Everything else is changing, and that essence is the only thing that is remaining. And that is who you are. So thus, Sri Krishna takes us from the drudgery, difficult of the doing to his Leela by giving us the freedom from the enjoyership, doership, selfish desires, individuality. And all of this, and the next leap with the presence of a Sadguru who can guide you from being from a doer to a non-doer and to realize the divine nature of this existence. So when you realize the divine nature of this existence, then is when truly life becomes Krishna's Rasa Leela. We all have heard Krishna used to have Rasa Leela, divine dance of ecstasy. The divine dance of ecstasy is what truly life is all about. With this, I would like to conclude my talk